Okay, so we've got the neck out of the clamps, fretboard's all glued on, and I've just taken a few minutes to clean the edges up. Now normally I'd do that on the router table and it'd take a few seconds. However, I'm quite keen when I'm making these videos to demonstrate that you don't need huge amounts of equipment to build guitars. So with nothing more complicated than a block plane, a chisel and a card scraper, I've taken the edges of this fingerboard flush with the neck probably in about 5 minutes. So it can be done, just takes a little bit longer. But it's left a really nice finish on there, and the fretboard has joined really nicely to the neck. So happy days with that. So that's pretty much done for now. I'm just going to take a bit of time with a block and some sandpaper just to clean up around the heel, but generally I'm really happy with that. Now, I've had a little bit of concern expressed to me about how I position fretboards on necks using pins through the fret slots. Now this is something I've done a lot, and it's never caused me any problems in the past. So just to clarify, this is where I pinned. I actually had to cut two on this position because the first one didn't really work properly, but this is where I put the 2 pins in on this fret. They were filled with a cocktail stick, which was glued in when I glued the fingerboard on, trimmed flush, and then the fret slot was re-established through them. Now I've just put a little bit of Sharpie on them just to hide them for the time being, but I don't really think there's any need for that, because as you can see, when we put a fret in there, it's going to more than cover where that pin is. Of course, this is a matter of personal preference. Some people prefer to put a nail in to the neck and then clamp the fretboard down and mark it that way, and then drill a hole in the back of the fretboard. Personally, I feel there's more risk attached to that, because if you get that wrong and drill through the front of the fingerboard, it might not necessarily be through a slot, so you could have damage that's visible. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this top edge up with a block and some sandpaper. Okay, so a few episodes ago I said that I was going to have to wait until I was a certain way along with the neck before I could go any further with the body. And the reason for that is that I want to make a custom neck pocket template specifically built around this neck, so it's going to be an absolutely perfect fit. The reason I want to do that is because my templates have had a bit of use now, and there's no way on earth that they're going to be a perfect match, and I want this neck pocket to be really good. And the way I'm going to do it is using this car body filler, or Bondo as it might also be known. So basically I'll just cut a neck pocket, slap some filler in, and then bolt the neck in. Be a great fit. No, I'm not going to do that. If you want to join me down on the bench, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I've got set up here is a big piece of board with a centre line drawn on it. And the first step is I'm just going to attach the neck along that centre line with super glue and masking tape. Okay, so that's fixed in place. The next step is I'm just going to take some brown packaging tape and I'm going to cover the end of the neck with it. Okay, so that's a really thin film of tape that's going to act as a release. So it's going to stop the Bondo, the body filler, sticking onto the neck. What it will also do is it will give a tiny little bit of clearance to make up for the finish that's going to go on the neck. So hopefully we'll still have a really good tight fit there. And with that done, I'm going to take this piece of board, which is going to be our actual template, and I've cut a notch out of this which is way bigger than the heel of the neck. It's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and I'm going to set this up in position along the centre line in the correct position so that the neck pocket will be the correct depth. And with that all set up, I'm just going to mix up a bit of this filler. Way more than I need. You really need to mix this stuff thoroughly until it's all a really even, uniform colour. And that includes what's on the spreader. Okay, and with that done, I'm just going to force it into this gap. We just need to leave that now until it cures good and hard. So that's hardened up nicely now, but I'm not going to take it out just yet. I'm going to leave it like this for about 24 hours to fully cure. And the reason I'm going to do that is that this material will shrink a little bit. If I take this out, there's a chance that it will shrink dimensionally, but if I leave it in, the shrinkage will occur within the material itself, so that neck pocket shape should remain exactly how I want it. Okay, so this is sat overnight, so we'll take it out and see how we've done. Okay, so it needs a little bit of cleaning up. But that's absolutely spot on. I'll try and get in a little bit closer so you can see just how tight that is. And as you can see there, it's absolutely seamless, which is brilliant. You might also notice that there's something stuck in the end where the adjuster wheel should be. That's just a little bit of modelling clay just to stop the tape from bulging in, which would obviously make the neck pocket the wrong shape. Okay, so I've just cleaned this template up. I've marked the line on the body where the neck pocket needs to end. I've done a little bit of setting up just to check that we're at the right kind of scale length and everything. So now there's nothing for it but to get this pocket cut out. just got that on the centre line. Just drawn around that with a pencil. Then we'll take this to the pillar drill and hog out the bulk of this waste with a nice big forceps bit. So that's the template stuck on with super glue and masking tape, and it's just a case of routing this down to the correct depth now. Okay, so that's the neck pocket cut. Just move that to one side and see how we've done. Oh yeah, happy with that. Happy with that indeed. There's hardly any gap at all anywhere on that. I'll just set this up and we'll see if we can get a closer shot. Okay, so that's the neck pocket all done. Just a little bit of cleaning up to do around the edge. While I've got the router out, I'm going to take the opportunity to clean up the little access route that I've put through into the cavity. So I've just taken what was left of the jig I made to do the wheel adjustment in the last episode, cut it down a little bit and positioned it in the pickup route. I'm just going to take the router to it and clean that up. So that's looking a lot better. I'm going to try it in a minute and just see if I can get the pot to go through it. Okay, so that's been routed out now, a little bit wider, and biggest of the pots easily slips through now. So that's brilliant. That's another job I can tick off the list. Okay, so that's the neck and the body together. Feels like a major milestone's been passed. I'm going to switch attention now from the neck back onto the body. The reason for that is I want to get the body finished so it can be curing while I get the neck finished. I'm thinking the body's going to have to be left for a good 3 or 4 weeks minimum to harden up. The neck probably isn't going to need that long. So that's as good a time as any to end the video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be back very soon when we start to tackle the binding on this body. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.